Hey Denise, how are you? Oh, give me a minute. Hey Billy Joe, how are you? All right. Hey Emily, how are you? Sorry y'all. I was having to fix some stuff. They had an update and I had to fix stuff. So anyway, is everybody doing all right? Hey Marie, how are you? Thank you for the heart me, Alan, for me. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Hazy, for the heart me. Hey Jillian, how are you? Thank you, Alan, for the gifts. Appreciate it. For the, what is that? What's that called? The You're Awesome gift. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Marie. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank you, Heather Royal, for the heartbeat. Thank y'all. Yep, I'm doing fine. Isadora seems to be better today than she was yesterday, so she seems to be doing pretty good. Thank you, Heather, for the gifts. Hey, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the heart me. Thank you, Miss Paulette, for the heart me. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the You're Awesomes. Chris, for the tiny dinies. Thank you, Miss Paulette, for the You're Awesomes. Thank you, Jillian, for the heart meat. Thank y'all for sharing the live, too. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jillian, for the You're Awesomes. Thank you, Mary Kay, for the rose. I got a shadow. What's wrong? You don't want to be on camera now? You want to turn your head the other way? She says she's ready for treats. Thank you, Marie, for the happy Friday. Appreciate it. Thank you, Alan, for the You're Awesomes. Thank you, Marie. Oh yeah, she's looking for treats. There ain't no doubt about that. There ain't no doubt about that. Aren't you, ma'am? That, and she's looking outside at Sabado. He's running the riding area. He wants in, is what he wants. But he hadn't been out there very long, so. No, Lenahe is not on the hugs yet. He's on the treats, but not on the hugs or the bows. I don't think anybody's enjoying the Foal watch right now because I think it's off. I think it is anyway. I think when I went live on YouTube, it cut it off, which I'm pretty sure it did. If it didn't, it's probably frozen. Thank you, Billy Joe, for the heart meat. I think YouTube's been having some issues today anyway, but hopefully they get it ironed out. Oh, El Dorado just took over Horse of the Month. Just took it from Moonshine. So it's El Dorado, then Moonshine, and then Sabado. Halloween. I hope she don't wait till Halloween, honestly. Yeah, Heather's going to be out here as soon as she gets done with what she's doing. I don't think Katana will wait till her due date, honestly. I really don't. I don't think she will make it. Miss Hazy, I couldn't tell you if the new Pro Max is that much different or not. I don't have the new Pro Max. I have the old Pro Max. No, Isadora's tail is not wrapped, it's braided. Hatana's been, I think last time she was maybe a few days early, but not extremely early with Ella. Maybe a few days early, a week or so maybe. But her first baby, she was late on her first baby. Yeah, we're doing treats later tonight. Sabado's mad. He acted like he didn't want to go out earlier, so I didn't make him go out, but then Heather put him out a little while later, and now he wants back in. And he keeps coming up here messing with the gate, trying to open the gate, so he's mad because he can't get in. He's having a fit. Hi, Mira. Come down here now. You trying to see what he's doing? He ain't doing nothing. He's just walking around out there. She has to come see what's going on. She'll probably go by the other door now. That's what she usually does. Back and forth. Yep, there she is. Back and forth between the doors, trying to see what's happening. Making sure that nobody gets nothing that she don't get. That's the main thing. Goodness. Goodness. What y'all doing? Hatana's sleeping. What'd you do? Suck a piece of hay down wrong? But yeah, we're gonna do treats and hugs and all that stuff here in a little while. And bring the horses in and all that good stuff. Hey Joe, how are you? Hey Lily, how are you? Thank you, Marie, for the hand heart. Thank you. It's quiet on YT tonight. My leg's fine. Or it will be. Thank you, Alan, for your awesomes. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joanne, for the rose. He'll be back in a minute. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the, what is that? A bear blind box. I never seen that before. That's cute. Thank you, Miss Hazy, for the pink head man. The weaning's been quiet. I don't hear a whole bunch out of the weaning. Now, we may this week, later this weekend, but right now we haven't been hearing a whole lot out of it. So, Sabado's outside. And yes, we have the fan on today because it is hot today. And we still have no rain in the forecast for the next 8 or 9 days. Hey Brandy, how are you? Thank you, Tricia, for the rose. I am doing good. I have Miss Mira in the background back here standing behind me. She's being nosy. Are you being nosy? She actually just wants treats. That's all. She knows we're going to do treats. So. Oh, I hadn't turned the AC off yet. Now, Heather turns it off at night, sometimes, but it hadn't really been turned off yet. I mean, it's been in the 80s here during the day, so it's still warm. So, thank you, Rebecca, for the gifts. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was here today. I know it was in the 90s. I can't remember what it was. They talked about it this morning, and I let it just go because I didn't want to hear about it. Well, it's still 91 here right now. At 6 o'clock in the evening, it's 91. So it probably was closer to 95 probably today, 94. It's supposed to be 95 tomorrow, so I'm imagining it's going to be about that. About the same, I would think. Thank you, Rebecca, for the gifts. Thank you, Teresa, for the gifts. Well, not really. Sleep-wise, we keep the Foal watch up on the TV in our living room and in our bedroom and in the camper outside. And I don't know, it was about 3 o'clock this morning, a certain rooster around here started crowing, and it was coming across the TVs in the house, and it was loud. And it was like every 30 seconds the dude was crowing. And so I woke up at like 3 and didn't go back to sleep. So maybe 3:15, something like that. And we didn't go to bed till almost midnight. So anyway, it's been a long day, but yeah, this wasn't Hey though. This is that other rooster. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the gifts. Appreciate it. Yeah, Brandy, I'm ready for fall too. Let's see what this said. Thank y'all for reaching that goal. Thank you, Alan Foreman, Miss Teresa Johnson, Little Morning 4, Rev RN, Jan 71, and Moonlight Girl, and thank everybody else who's been sending gifts and sharing and liking the live. We appreciate it. Thank y'all. Let's see. Might as well. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to do that one because we got ball practice tomorrow anyway. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the bat boy. Thank you, Miss Hazy. Thank you, Miss Teresa. Yeah, it was loud. He was loud this morning. And then Isadora acting like she wants to try to go in labor every 5 minutes. So, thank you, Tammy, for the heart me, and thank you for the bat boys. Thank you, Miss Paulette, for the bat boys. Softball it's going good. It's going good. Nothing like teaching 9, 10, 11-year-old girls to play softball. Thank you, Miss Paulette. Thank you, Miss Tricia, for the gifts. Thank you, Jan, for the gifts. Some of them have played before, so they're doing a little better than some of the others. They're all doing good. It's just the attention span's just not there. You wouldn't believe some of the conversations during the middle of practice when they should be paying attention to batting or catching the ball. But, you know, it'll get better as they get older, I'm sure. Yeah, it's more like, oh, squirrel. Like middle of the ball coming at them. Oh, squirrel, and look at us talk about something else. Luckily, none of them have been hit with balls. What's wrong with you? Are you mad? Everybody else is out. It's not going to hurt you to be outside, dude. Miss Gail, Isadora is I pray she is on track to make it to her safe date at least. Let's put it that way. Could she go before her safe date? Yes, she could. I don't expect her to, but at the same time, it could happen. and she won't be officially at 310 days until tomorrow. Every time he comes up there and he puts his big old hoof up on that gate and starts pawing that gate, I spray the water out there at him. And he runs off. And then he stands out there and looks at me, and then he comes back and does it again. I think it's a game, honestly. It's hot, so he probably likes it, because I know he likes water, so. Is it bad? Yes. If she goes into labor before her safe date, it's not a good thing. So we're not even worrying about it. She's not going to go into labor till after her safe date. So. But I think, I'm sorry, Sunday, what's today, the 12th? No, today's 12th, tomorrow. She'll be officially at 310 tomorrow. So, that's that's still 10 days earlier than what it needs to be. So there's just a lot more risk and stuff for the baby if it's between 310 and 320 days. So we don't anticipate her going. We don't anticipate her going before her safe day. We're saying that it's not going to happen. And no, she never lays down right now. It's not that she never lays down, because normally she does lay down, but she's got quite a bit of swelling in her chest, stomach, and her legs, and that swelling, it hurts her to bend her legs and lay down like she normally would, so she doesn't. Now, I expect over the next few days she may start laying down some, because her swelling is starting to come down a little bit. Trish, I don't see messages on TikTok. I've said this, I've told y'all this so many times. If you want to send us a message, you have to send us a message through our website. We get 1,000 messages a day on TikTok, so we don't even try to read them, because it's not possible. Thank you, Rebecca, for the gifts. Miss Gail, the swelling is being caused by her being pregnant, her being heavy, and she's just not handling this pregnancy as good as she did the last one. The last one, she didn't have swelling like this at all, so she's just not handling this one as well. That's why this will be her last one. Would I have liked to been able to breed her to Dorado or some other stallion? Yeah, I would, but at this point, this will be her last one. So it's not safe for her, and we're not going to jeopardize her to have her have another baby. So. Sir, hey, are you hot? You need cooled off? Yeah, swelling's common with mares when they're pregnant anyway. It's common for them to get edema along their stomach and stuff. Most of them get a little bit of it. It's just she's getting a lot of it. So, and a lot of it just it makes things worse. Um, no, that's Sabato messing with the gate. He wants to come in. He doesn't want to. He likes to do things on his terms sometimes, and he's learning that he has to stay out there for a little while. He hadn't even been out there 2 hours, 3 hours. Well, it's 6:15, so he's been out there about 3 hours. Do we sleep in the barn? Sometimes we have. It just kind of depends. Um, we're not above sleeping in the barn. The nice thing about our barn is literally less than 100 feet from our house. Like, it's not even 100 feet. Um, Maybe 75 feet from our house. So, and our bedroom backs up to the barn. So it's like 75 feet from the house. So we can get out here really quick. We've only missed one baby being born here, and that was Sugar's. And we were on live until midnight that night. She showed absolutely no sign of having a baby anytime soon. She didn't have a bag, tail head wasn't loose, back end wasn't loose, no signs, no temperature, nothing. Just normal, not sweating, nothing. And so we went to bed and didn't think much about it. And I think at that time we were either just starting the cameras or we may have been on our old camera still. I can't remember. But we didn't have a Foal watch going at that time. I know that. And we had people that could see the cameras. We could see the cameras, but we went to bed and went to sleep. And I came out the next morning to do a good morning video and check on Sugar and all that. And Rosa was standing there looking at me. So she had her at like, I think 2 something in the morning, if I remember right. We went back, the camera actually recorded it. And we actually saw it, but we went back and pulled the camera footage, and it was like 2 something in the morning. And that's the only one we've actually missed. Most of them have been either in the middle of the night or early in the morning. Most of them have been early in the morning. Like Directa, she had Perfecto at around 7 o'clock in the morning. I think 7:10 maybe. And she had 3 babies in the past, and all 3 of them were born around that time. So that was her normal time frame. Contessa had her baby, I want to say, either 5 or 6. Her and Hatana both had them right around between 5 and 6. And they did the same thing the last time they both had babies together. Her and Contessa and Hatana have had babies together twice at the same time. They've had babies, and both times they were around the same times of the morning and all that, and both times they were about the same number of days apart delivering. And then Isadora, gosh, dog, I'm trying to remember. Hers, I think, was in the middle of the night, if I remember right, or early in the morning. It wasn't, can't remember the exact time. I'd have to go back and look. But and then like Uno, hers was in the middle of in the evening time. Uno's, it was still daylight outside in the evening, so we didn't have to wake up and run outside or anything for Uno, because it happened in the middle of that evening time. So. But generally during Foal watch, we don't sleep a lot. We always have the live zone anyway, so we don't really sleep a lot. Hey Sandra, how are you? And then when Tammy's mare, Serena, had her baby here, it was in the evening time too. So. It's more fun not to use Foal alert. I don't know. I mean, we don't pay to have Foal alert done. We don't. We have enough vet bills and everything else to begin with. So, and honestly, I've been doing this my entire life, so it's just more fun to me. I don't know. You know, we don't even try to find out if it's a girl or a boy, if it's a filly or a colt. It's more fun to find out when they have them. So, and then if we use Foal alert, you know, y'all wouldn't get to watch hours on end, and everybody wouldn't get to say, "Oh, she's in labor. She's in labor. She's gonna have the baby any minute. It's coming now." I saw that like 8 times last night. So. Yeah, Foal watch is Foal alert, but sometimes it's false alert. So, yeah, we had a foster horse here. We had Iris here when she was a baby. That's the horse that's her mom wouldn't accept her when she was born, and she came here and directed nursed her for 6 months until she was weaned. And I'm pretty sure if we needed a foster mom right now for one, Uno would be a good one. So she likes the babies. Honestly, Hatana probably would be a good one if she wasn't pregnant. If we had to have a foster mom for one, because she likes babies too. Oh, Foal alerts work good, from what I understand, unless the mayor pulls them out, which I know some people that use Foal alerts, and it's happened on more than one occasion that Foal alerts come out. Hey, Miss Carol, how are you? Yep. Foal alerts will come out sometimes. Then you have to have it redone. More expense. So, I don't know. I just like the old-fashioned way. Wake up and come out here. Now, if we had, like, I don't know, like some of these farms and stuff that breed like 15 or 20 at a time, you know, if we had them that close together going all the time, having babies all the time, then I probably would want Foal alert. But I can deal with no sleep for, you know, a little while anyway. Isadora's going to have a baby, Hatana's going to have a baby, and Mira's going to have a baby, all 3 of them. Isadora is due the 14th of October. Hatana's due the 24th of October, and Mira's due the 4th of December. So, no, Isadora has not been going out, and it's not because she didn't have the choice to go out, but about 3 weeks ago, she stopped going out. She wouldn't go out. You had to make her go out, and the last time she just stood in her door and didn't want to go out, so I just let her stay in. She's got the swelling, the amount of swelling she has, it hurts her to walk around a lot. So I got her out of her stall the other day and said, I'm gonna make you walk around a little while. And it took me almost an hour to get her from her stall, which is, whoops, right across the hall there, to right there where Sapling is. It took almost an hour to get her that far. And then I got her out there and I cold hosed her legs and stuff, and I wanted her to walk around a little. So I let Uno out there with her in hopes that Uno would help her walk around. She didn't. Uno walked all around her. She never moved. She stood in the same spot. And then it took me 2 hours to get her back to her stall. So she doesn't go out. Now today she's moved around a little more than she has, but her swelling's gone down quite a bit from what it was. So hopefully it keeps going down. But she's on some medicine that the vet gave her to help reduce the swelling. She's on the medicine the vet gave her to help her stomach because, well, number one, taking the medicine to reduce the inflammation and swelling is not good for her stomach. So it's kind of like, it would be kind of like you taking high dosages of ibuprofen or something every day, you know, all day long, every day. So it's not good for her stomach. So she has to take a medicine that helps coat her stomach, that keeps that medicine from messing with her stomach. And it's like an ulcer medicine, but it's a medicine to coat her stomach is what it is. And then, let's see, she takes electrolytes. That's to make sure she drinks plenty of water. And all of that stuff. So, but she's doing good. It's not the first time we've had to do all this stuff, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But yeah, it's not the brand Ulcer Guard, but it's the same thing. It's the same medication. It's not the brand Ulcer Guard. But they can't be on. They're not supposed to be on that long term either. So, you know, it's one of these things. You give her medication to reduce her inflammation and stuff, but that medication can cause other problems. So you give her a medication to keep it from causing those problems, but then that medication can cause other problems. So, you know, it's one of them things. And it's the same way with people. So, you know, you take one medication, then you have to start taking another one because the other one was causing this or that or whatever. So, but and then she gets, we have these, they're ice wraps is what they are. They put them in the freezer. They're gel, and you put them in the freezer and you freeze them. And then you wrap them around her legs for cold treatment. They Velcro around her legs. Everybody calls them boots. That's the thing she's got on now. But they're wraps is all they are. And we have 2 different sets of them that we rotate in and out. So, and she doesn't really like taking them off. Putting them on is not as hard a chore as taking them off, because she doesn't like the sound of the Velcro. Thank you for the gifts, Reba. But she's doing better, even with that. So, thank you, Lori B, for the gifts. Hey Sherry, how are you? Thank you, Miss Teresa, for the gifts. But overall, she's doing a lot better than what she was 2 days ago. Um, so hopefully she continues to improve. Now, us getting inflammation off her legs and her being able to move around more, it's not necessarily going to make her wait any longer to have the baby than what she's going to wait. So, thank you, Marn. How are you? Thank you for watching. No, Heather's not at work. She's here. Yeah, her stall is, I don't know, it's got like probably 4 inches of shavings in it, but those shavings, those are the type shavings we always use. They're they're what they call pelletized shavings. So basically they turn into like sawdust, basically. And they're good and they're cushiony, but they're not as cushiony as say straw would be, or the big giant shavings. But the drawback to straw is when it gets wet, it's extremely heavy. And to me, it's a breeding ground. So we don't opt for straw. Plus, straw's not very inexpensive around here. And then the big shavings I like, they can be cushiony. You could put less of them in and still have a pretty good cushion, but the drawback to them is every time somebody cleans the stall, they take 3/4 of the shavings out, and even the ones that there's nothing wrong with. So we opt for these others and we just put more in there, but they last quite a while. So yeah, horses definitely can have side effects of medicine. Well, Hatana has been next to Isadora the last 3 days. Hatana hasn't been out in the last 3 days. Her and Mira did the same thing, I don't know, 3 days ago. I opened the doors, they wouldn't leave. They just stood in their stall. Then they said they were going to leave, and then Mira went in the stall with Hatana, and then they stood in the stall. So I finally got them out that day. The next day when I opened the stalls and they didn't come out, I just let them stay in. Hatana's fixing to go on Foal watch anyway, and I got a feeling Mira's not going to go nowhere while they're inside, unless I can get her and Uno going out together. But the last time her and Uno went out together, she was really mean to Uno, kicking her and all kinds of stuff. So, and she's extremely mean to the boys too. So. Yeah, we like the pellets better for everything. I would just, like with Isadora, at some point we might end up putting thicker shavings in there, the big shavings in there. But as long as she keeps going the way she's going and doing better, then we'll stick with what we got. Trish, all you have to do is go to the profile up in the top left corner of the screen and click on it. And there's a link in our bio, and it'll take you straight there. No, Hatana's not showing any signs of inflammation at this point, and neither is Mira. And I'm not saying that Mira won't show some inflammation or Hatana won't, but the last 2 times Hatana's been pregnant, she hasn't had a bunch of inflammation. And she gets big. She gets really big, but she hasn't had a lot of inflammation. So And like I said, they all have a little bit up under the belly when they're pregnant, but Isadora just has, I think, a lot. Um, at the same time, I think it was Serena. I think it was Tammy's mare. When she was here, she had quite a bit of edema going on too. It just depends on the horse. So. Marn, we coming up with the names. I really don't. Some of our horses already had names. The ones that are born here, usually me and Heather come up with quite a few different names, and a lot of times we'll come up with names, and then when it comes time to name the horse, we name it something different. Like Sabato, for instance, or Sabato, he's over there outside right now. When he was born, we had looked at a bunch of different names for him, and we had all these different names, but he was born on a Saturday, and then on top of that, he was born on Saturday, and then on top of that, it was there was some kind of cosmic thing going on that weekend, like stellar thing, like a cosmic, like I can't remember if it was a comet or there was something going on, and so I always wanted a horse named Saturday, so we have, our horses all have Spanish names, so we came up with Sabato, which is Saturday in Spanish. So his name is Sabato Fuego, which is Saturday's fire, and day SMR, which is of SMR. So that's, no, we use SMR at the back. It's day SMR on all of ours. So it's their name of SMR. And at one point we were talking about making his Sabato Fuego Cosmico or Cosmico Fuego or something. I don't know, but we decided just on Saturday's fire. So, and then like Lanaje, his name is Lanaje Eterno, which is eternal lineage and of SMR. So Isadora keeps shifting her weight because her legs hurt because they're swollen so bad. And it hurts her to bend. Like, picture your leg swollen from edema. Your knee is swollen. Your ankle is swollen. When you go to walk, you're going to walk stiff-legged because it hurts to bend your knee or bend your ankle. So you're forced to basically walk stiff-legged. And doing it with one leg is one thing, but she's having to do it with both legs because both legs are swollen. So she picks those feet up and kind of hops. And that's how she's walking right now because her legs are so swollen. Now, they're not as bad today. She's moved around a lot more today. But that's why she does that. Like, even when I pick her legs up, like I picked her legs up to work on her feet. And normally we would sedate her to do her feet because she hates having her feet done. And you have to sedate her. But right now, we haven't had to. I worked on them one time, and then Heather worked on them the other night. And we didn't have to sedate her to do her feet because she really can't fight too much about it because it hurts her. And then, but the issue is when we pick her feet up to do them, her legs are swollen to where we can't hardly bend her at the joint. So that's why she's on the anti-inflammatory to get the inflammation out of there. And the problem with horses when they when they're pregnant and they have a lot of inflammation, it's more weight, a lot more weight, because inflammation is heavier than like inflammation is like heavier than just like muscle and tissue, because it's basically it's water weight. And you know, a gallon of water weighs like 8 pounds. Well, if they have a lot of inflammation, that inflammation weighs a lot. So they got the weight of the baby and the weight of the inflammation pulling down on them, which all that inflammation's got to go somewhere. And where does it go? It goes to their legs, and usually it goes to the front legs, not the back legs. It's just because of gravity, and it just makes it hard on them. So she looks at her belly a lot. I can't tell you why she's doing it. She's not colicking. I've had people say that she's dehydrated, she's colicking. She's not. She's not dehydrated, she's not colicking. Her poop is smaller, the balls are, but they're always smaller. They've always been that way. She's always had smaller poop than, say, Hatana does, or one of the other horses. And she's not the only one that has it like that. We have a couple that are that way. But she's not dehydrated. She's not colicking. Extremely good gut sounds. It's possible her stomach hurts because of the medications that she's taking. That she could have some kind of ulcers or something. But it's also possible that the baby's moving a lot. And yesterday, the baby was extremely active yesterday. The baby was extremely active yesterday. You could actually see the baby moving around yesterday a lot. So that's probably some of her looking at her stomach. And typically, you can't take that out in the riding area. I don't know what you're doing. She can't open it. Let me have it. Oh, don't take it up there. Let her open it. That's what she was trying to do. Yeah, you can't play softball in the riding area today. You're going to have to do that out there. Okay. But anyway, that's kind of how it's going with her. Isadora, 17? Is that right? Or going to be 17? I think she's going to be 17. She's a little bit younger than, she's like 11 months younger than her sister, or 10 months. I always have to go back and look, because they're like right near each other. She was born on May the 26th of 2009, so she's 16 right now. So she'll be 17 next year. So that means that her sister, Miss Hatana, sitting here, who was born on July the 26th, they share the same day of the month anyway, just not the same month. And she was born in 08. So Hatana's already 17, and she will be 18 next year. So they are the older girls here. Reba Treats, you're on YouTube. In the profile in our profile on YouTube, there's a link tree, and you can go there, and it takes you to our website. Thank y'all for the gifts. Yeah, she, like I said, if my legs were swollen like hers were 2 days ago, which they're nowhere near that now, but if mine were swollen like hers 2 days ago, I wouldn't want to walk either. I'll be honest with you. Um, they were extremely swollen. When I saw them that day, I went ahead and took video and pictures of them and sent them to the vet. Um, that's the good thing around here is we have a very good relationship with our vet, and if anything happens, we can text her cell phone directly, or we can call the office and they'll get a hold of her too. But it's just we have a very good relationship with them. So at the same time, I mean, when you have horses and you raise horses most of your life, you know how to read some things and you know how to do some things. And somebody asked yesterday if she went into labor before her safe date, would the vet come out? And the answer to that is the vet might come out depending on how the baby was doing. Would the vet come out before the baby was born? No, because the vet wouldn't make it before the baby was born. Our vet's office is an hour from here. And depending on if they have to come from the office or if one of our vets has to come, it's probably more like an hour and 45 minutes because I think she's 45 minutes on the other side of the office. So, you know, in an emergency, when a horse is having a baby and you have an emergency, you have to deal with the emergency you have right then. You can't depend on waiting on the vet, because if a horse goes in labor, 9 times out of 10, you got about 10 minutes before they have their baby. So, yes, Jane, we're in the United States. We're in Mississippi. Rural Mississippi. Thank you, Megan, for the gifts. Appreciate it. So, I mean, we just, you know, and we don't, every time we have an issue, we don't, like, call the vet and say, hey, you got to come out here. We call the vet. We text the vet. We send videos. We send pictures. And then the vet says, well, can you do this, this, and this? And we either say, yes, we can, or no, we need you to do that. And if we need the vet, then they come out and do it, or we take the horses into them. But if it's something that we feel comfortable doing, that the vet's asking us can we do, then we do it. So. Most stuff I would say we feel fairly comfortable with doing. Is that right, ma'am? Excuse me. Yep, and sometimes you have to go to the vet. Well, we did with Uno. She was colicking really bad, and we ended up taking her into the vet 2 times to get fluid at the vet's office. The 3rd time she colicked, she stayed here and got fluid. And then the 4th, 5th, and 6th time she colicked, she stayed here and got fluid. Because every time she went to the vet, it cost us a whole lot more money. But we could do the same thing here. So there was no reason. You know, we got the medicine, we got the fluid, everything we needed, and we just did it here. And it was better for her because then she didn't have to ride on a trailer every time to the vet, and we didn't have to haul a nahe back and forth to the vet at a week old. you know, and 2 weeks old or whatever for 5 or 6 different trips. So, anyway, and it's not just the horses that get treated here. We get treated here too. We don't run to the doctor every time something happens either, so. You think Izzy's having a girl? I think Izzy is having a girl. I hope Izzy's having a girl. Because, honestly, because I've wanted a filly out of Isidore. And we had Sabato, which is the colt out of Isidore. And I wanted a filly out of Isidore, but I also want a filly out of Infinito, and I was hoping Isidore would have a filly. So I'm hoping she's having one. I think she's having one. But the main thing is she has a healthy baby, so. Hey Lisa, how are you? If you want to, he's pitching a fit to come back in, hence the water hose. I've been squirting with the water hose when he comes up there and starts pawing on that gate. But it's a game to him now. He runs up there, lets me squirt him, and then runs off, and then comes right back and does it again. Stands there and waits on me to do it. Like he paws the gate and then stands there and looks at me, waiting on me to